Hey everyone, and welcome to Work Ethic Wars. Gen X versus Millennials versus Gen Z in the office. You know, like those epic battles you see in movies, but instead of swords and shields, we've got laptops, coffee mugs, and maybe a few passive-aggressive sticky notes. Today we're diving into the unique work habits and ethics of three different generations. We're talking about what makes them tick, what makes them click reply, all in an email chain. Seriously, why? And how they view the whole work-life balance thing. Get ready for some laughs, some aha moments, and maybe even a few awkward encounters, because let's be honest, that's what the office is all about, right? All right, first up, we've got Gen X. These are the folks who grew up with dial-up internet, cassette tapes, and, dare I say, fax machines. They're the ones who remember a time before smartphones, when you actually had to talk to your co-workers in person. Can you imagine? Now, Gen X, they're known for their strong work ethic. I mean, these guys and gals, they put in the hours. They understand the value of hard work, of showing up on time, and of, actually being in the office. They're not afraid of a little overtime, and they're definitely not afraid of a phone call. Remember phone calls, everyone? Gen X does. But hey, it's not like they're stuck in the dark ages or anything. They've adapted to new technology, but they still appreciate that face-to-face interaction. You know, the kind where you can actually read someone's body language and tell if they're being serious or if they're just messing with you. Gen X, they value loyalty. They're loyal to their companies, they're loyal to their colleagues, and they're loyal to their coffee breaks. They've seen a lot of changes in the workplace, from cubicles to open floor plans, and they've rolled with the punches. They're adaptable, they're resilient, and they're not afraid to tell you like it is. They're the mentors, the steady hands, the ones who keep things running smoothly. They've got the experience, they've got the knowledge, and they're not afraid to share it. But don't mistake their directness for harshness. They just want to help, they want to see you succeed. Think of them as that wise, experienced co-worker who's always got your back, even if they sometimes tease you mercilessly about your skinny jeans or your obsession with avocado toast. They're the ones who will tell you to get off their lawn, but then secretly slip you a 20 because they know you're saving up for something important. Gen X, they're the heart and soul of the office. They've seen it all, they've done it all, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're the rock, the steady hand, the ones who remind us that sometimes the old ways are the best ways, or at least they're the ones who remember how to use a fax machine. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from some actual Gen Xers, shall we? Gen Xers are often the unsung heroes of the workplace. They bring a unique blend of old-school wisdom and modern adaptability. They know how to navigate office politics with grace and have a knack for finding practical solutions to complex problems. Their experience allows them to foresee potential pitfalls and steer the team clear of trouble. And let's not forget their sense of humor. Gen Xers know how to lighten the mood and keep things in perspective. They've been through economic ups and downs, technological revolutions, and shifting workplace dynamics. Yet, they remain steadfast and reliable, always ready to tackle the next challenge head-on. Their mentorship is invaluable, offering guidance and support to younger generations entering the workforce. They bridge the gap between the old and the new, ensuring that valuable lessons from the past are not lost. Gen Xers are the glue that holds the office together, balancing tradition with innovation. So, next time you see a Gen Xer in the office, take a moment to appreciate their contributions. They're the backbone of the workplace, the ones who keep everything running smoothly. And remember, while they might joke about the good old days, they're very much a part of the present and the future. Gen X, the wise ones who show up on time, work hard and keep the office grounded. They're here to stay, and we're all the better for it. Next up, we've got the Millennials. Millennials. The generation that grew up with the internet at their fingertips, cell phones glued to their ears, and the unshakable belief that they could change the world. And hey, some of them actually did, right? From tech giants to social movements, millennials have left an indelible mark on our society. These are the folks who brought us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the constant need to document every single moment of their lives. They're tech savvy, they're connected, and they're not afraid to challenge the status quo. They question norms and push boundaries, always seeking to innovate. Now, millennials, they have a different approach to work than Gen X. They're all about that work-life balance. They don't just work to live, They live to work in a way that fulfills them. They work hard, yes, but they also prioritize their personal lives, their passions, their side hustles. They understand the importance of mental health and well-being. They're not afraid to take a vacation, to work remotely, or to blend work with leisure. The concept of the digital nomad was practically invented by them, or to leave the office at a reasonable hour. They value flexibility, autonomy, and the ability to pursue their own interests. They seek jobs that offer more than just a paycheck. They want purpose and meaning. They're not afraid to speak up, to share their ideas, or to question authority. They're collaborators, they're innovators, and they're always looking for ways to improve things. They thrive in environments that encourage creativity and out-of-the-box thinking. They're the ones who are pushing for more remote work options, for flexible schedules, for a workplace that values their well-being. They advocate for mental health days, wellness programs, and a more humane approach to work. They're not afraid to job hop, to freelance, or to start their own businesses. They're entrepreneurs, they're creatives, and they're not afraid to take risks. They embrace the gig economy and see it as an opportunity rather than a setback. But millennials, they're also often misunderstood. They're accused of being entitled, narcissistic, and glued to their phones. But these criticisms often overlook their resilience and adaptability. But hey, every generation gets labeled, right? The boomers were called rebels, Gen X was labeled as slackers. The truth is, millennials are just trying to find their place in the world, just like every generation before them. They're passionate, they're idealistic, and they're determined to make a difference. They volunteer, they advocate for social justice, and they strive to leave the world better than they found it. They're the ones who are challenging the way we work, the way we live, and the way we connect with each other. They leverage technology to build communities and foster connections across the globe. They're the future of the workplace, whether we're ready for it or not. Their influence is reshaping industries and redefining success. So next time you see a millennial with their headphones on, tapping away at their laptop, don't be so quick to judge. They might be working on the next big thing, a project that could change lives. They might just be changing the world, one app, one blog post, one innovative idea at a time. Their creativity knows no bounds and their potential is limitless. Or, they might just be checking Instagram, but even then they're staying connected, staying informed. Either way, they're doing it their way. And in doing so, they're paving the way for future generations. And last but not least, we have Gen Z. These are the digital natives, the ones who grew up with smartphones in their hands, social media at their fingertips, and a world of information literally at their disposal.
They're the ones who are going to inherit this crazy world we live in. So no pressure, right?
Gen Z, they're tech-savvy, they're entrepreneurial, and they're not afraid to challenge the status quo. They're growing up in a world that's constantly changing, so they're adaptable, they're resourceful, and they're always learning.
They value authenticity, they value diversity, and they value making a difference in the world. They're passionate about social justice, about the environment, about making the world a better place.
They're not afraid to speak their minds, to stand up for what they believe in, or to use their voices to create change. They're the ones who are going to be leading the charge in the years to come, so we better listen up and pay attention.
They're the future of the workplace, the future of our world, and they're just getting started.
Gen Z is all about that gig economy life. Freelancing, side hustles, starting their own businesses. They're not afraid to hustle and make their own way in the world. They've seen the traditional career path, and they're not afraid to forge their own.
But it's not just about the money for Gen Z. They want to work for companies that align with their values, that are socially responsible, that are making a positive impact on the world.
They're not just looking for a job, they're looking for a purpose, and they're not afraid to walk away from a job that doesn't fulfill them. They know their worth, they know what they want, and they're not afraid to go after it.
They're the ones who are going to be changing the workplace, demanding more flexibility, more work-life balance, and more opportunities for growth and development.
So, buckle up, because Gen Z is here and they're ready to make their mark on the world. They're the future, and the future is looking pretty bright. Just make sure you have good Wi-Fi, because they're going to need it. Gen Z is not just about technology, they're about collaboration and innovation. They thrive in environments where they can share ideas and work together to solve problems. They believe in the power of teamwork and the importance of community. Networking and building relationships are key to their success. They're always looking for new ways to innovate and improve. Whether it's through technology or creative thinking, they're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Diversity and inclusion are not just buzzwords for them, they're essential values. They understand that different perspectives lead to better solutions. They're curious, open-minded, and always eager to learn. Education and continuous learning are important to them. They're not just looking for jobs, they're looking for careers that offer growth and development. Mentorship and guidance are crucial to their success. They're ready to take on the challenges of the future and make a positive impact on the world. With their passion, drive, and determination, there's no limit to what they can achieve. So let's support them, encourage them, and watch as they transform the world. Because the future is in their hands and it's looking brighter than ever. So there you have it, folks. The epic battle of work ethics, Gen X versus Millennials versus Gen Z. Who will reign supreme? Who will adapt and thrive in the ever-changing workplace? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching Work Ethic Wars. I hope you learned a thing or two about the different generations in the workplace and maybe even yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. And be sure to let me know in the comments which generation you think has the best work ethic. Just, be nice about it. Or don't. I'm not your boss.